me see. It looks like we are live. Are we live? Yes, we are live. We are live. Episode 11, Sunday Night Alive, Power Hour. Let me see if my microphone's working today. I hope it is. We're making a few changes. Once again, this is episode 11 with Soldier of Self-Mastery. I'm so looking forward to meeting those of you that join us tonight. And I see we have someone that just joined. I'm looking forward to meeting you, your name, where you're from. And remember, have your questions ready because I want this to be interactive. So thank you. Joining number 2. Come on, guys, identify yourselves. The invisible men, the invisible women. I'm just joking. Okay, let me get some things over with. By the way, I hope that all of you today that join us have had or are making it a super fantastic, terrific, over-the-top Sunday. I mean, that's the only way things flow. The only way that things flow. Welcome to Sunday Night Alive Power Hour with Soldier of Self-Mastery. We're going to be here for 30 minutes tonight. I'm going to be cutting the time down. I know that it is Sunday. Tomorrow's a work day, and those of us are still trying to get a little bit of rest. So, Laura, welcome. Welcome to the episode. I know there's somebody else in there. So, a couple of things. Once again, thank you for your donations. I've got some links in the message chat area for those of you that ask questions about subscribing or the Little Red Book on Amazon. So the links are already there. I'm ahead of schedule. So I know time's running. And the topic for tonight, I mentioned it last episode. How do you see yourself in 1 to 2 years from today? Now, Santos, what the heck does that have to do with problem gambling, man? Come on, we're talking about addictions, brother. We're talking about escaping the casino, man, bettering ourselves. Well, let's dig into this. I'm going to be taking some questions. How do you see yourself 1 to 2 years from today? And we've been on a series we've been on a series and we've been talking about what will motivate us to change, right? I mean, I want more change. In fact, sometimes I get a little crazy with myself because I'm trying to create so much change faster. I drive myself nuts. So I see we have a new person today here. Thank you for Estonia. Wow. Playback 4444. Welcome to the episode. Glad that you could make it today. We're going to be here for just a few minutes. This is going to be a shorter episode. I'm going to actually be working on shorter episodes. I notice unless I start getting quite a few people come on board, then I may extend it a little bit. But I really want to keep it 30 minutes. Kind of a power punch. You know what I mean? Just a power punch. And kind of a quick in and out motivation, inspiration for us to just take what we learn here from the questions from you guys. By the way, I'm getting a lot from you guys. So I see Joe. Hey, it's Joe. Welcome to the episode. This is episode 11. I know we've got a few more others, and I'm hoping that they will. Amen Artistry. Hi, Santos. Greetings from Germany. Wow. That is phenomenal. Thank you for being with us. Again, we're going to be here for 30 minutes. I'm taking your questions. What is this all about? In fact, tonight's topic is really about how do you see yourself 1 to 2 years from now? How do you see yourself 1 to 2 years from now? So what the heck does this have to do with self-empowerment? I said this earlier. Santos, I'm trying to get away from gambling. I'm trying to get away from this bad addiction, from smoking, from drinking, whatever it is. How is that going to help me? By the way, thank you for the thumbs up. I'm in Stockton, California, by the way. Oregon is in the house. Thank you. Appreciate all of you guys that, you know, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So pat yourself on the back, okay? Florence, Louisiana. Wow. Thank you, Florence Sentmore Jones. Welcome to episode 11 here with Soldier of Self-Mastery. This is a live interaction session. We're going to go for about 30 minutes. So I'm taking questions. If you guys have questions, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about problem gambling, by the way. Okay, it doesn't have to be about problem gambling, but if you want to talk about problem gambling and how to defeat it, we can talk about that. We can talk about success. We can talk about business. We can talk about other things. Welcome, all of you. So I have a question. I'm going to challenge you guys. I have a question. What do you think about this? How do you see yourself in 1 to 2 years from today? We're talking about motivation for change. Anybody want to change? Anybody want to have the ability to think better, faster, more confidence, more courage to stand up? I'll wait for a few seconds here. If I don't get... Yes, I agree with you, Florence. That's what I'm working on. You know, in fact, talking about how we see ourselves 1 to 2 years from today, here's what I want to say about this. When we visualize about this topic, okay, it can help us in many different areas. I see we got a 7th person. I'd love to meet you, your name, where you're from. If you have a question, I will stop speaking. Blah, 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 blah. I will stop speaking and I will interact with you because that's what I want. I want growth. Just like Florence is saying, yes, we want more courage. We want more growth. You know, this is going to be a new week for us, guys, a new week. What will we have to face this week? What will we have to overcome this week, my friends? We don't know what's coming down the pike or what's coming up the pike, right? So if you spend any time visualizing and thinking about this, and I'm sure that you do at some time or another, what is your future state saying to you? What is your future state saying to you? And are you recording that? Are you writing it down? Are you keeping it in a log? I remember some time ago, I was listening to, I believe it was Earl Nightingale, one of my digital coaches that I watched through YouTube. Earl Nightingale has made a tremendous impact in my life. Tremendous impact. So if into self-empowerment, if you're into self-mastery, okay, yeah, you can watch my videos, come on my episodes. I appreciate that. You could take a look at Earl Nightingale and listen to some of his material. In fact, he's on my playlists here on YouTube. So Daniel from New York City is in the house. By the way, I hope I'm using my microphone today, so I'm hoping that it's coming through nice and clear. So what is your future state saying to you? Laura, we drive trucks, so stopping at the casinos is what I want to stop doing. Truck drivers are so targeted. Florence Setmore says, crystal clear. Laura, yeah, I tell you, you're challenged. You're challenged, but here's the thing. You can turn that challenge around, okay? Make it into a game. See who's going to win the game, right? I know you want to win the game. Key is, how are you going to win the game? Here's the thought. What is your future self saying to you today? What is your future self saying to you today? Mic is clear. Thank you, Daniel. So, you know, the key I find in my life that I struggled for 32 plus years. It was a horrible, and there was some periods during those years where I didn't gamble because I was in a rehabilitation center. That's why I spent, was it about three years or so in a rehab center. That's how bad my life was in Hayward, California, under the program of a place called Full Gospel Temple. And in there, I couldn't gamble. So my mind, again, it was all about retraining the mind. But I don't think that I ever really made it clear to myself that I had a problem. I never made it clear to myself that I had, and I had other addictions too. But as I go back in time, because as soon as I got out of that program, again, I began working. I was making really great income, and I began traveling. So going back to what Laura says, I was traveling throughout the Bay Area, as far as an hour and a half to 2 hour drives, and I was running into casinos. And guess what? I thought I had it licked. I thought I had it. You know, oh man, I think about those times and all the money that I used to spend in these casinos, man. Well, one time led to another and then to another, and it just became easier, right? That's the way it goes. And if we want to change, we must change, right? Isn't that the truth? So, going back to this topic of how do we see ourselves in 1 to 2 years, you know, I kind of contemplate that because we don't know if we're going to be here in 2 years. We don't know that, right? But we can visualize, and that can help us today. The key is to work today, right? Because we don't know if we're going to be here in a year or two. So that's the key. By the way, if you stay till the end of the episode, we got another 15, 16 minutes. Mineral water, by the way, that's all I drink these days. I'm going to be sharing something with you guys. My 11 for success. I'm going to be sharing that with you guys. My 11 for success. And I'll get into that at the end of this episode before we close up. So if you hang tight, you're going to get a chance to, you're going to get exposed to something that I live by daily and works. I mean, it works to train my mind, to keep myself more, to make myself more courageous, right? Take well-calculated risks, etc. Casinos also invite truckers for parking. Parking is not everywhere. Yeah. And again, you know, the important thing, here's the important thing, Laura, is that you can take this situation. By the way, I'm wearing my red book on Amazon. You can take that and like anything that we want to, we can actually take it and turn it into a game. Instead of making things a little bit more complicated for ourselves, we need to learn to find ways to make things a little bit more comfortable, maybe a little bit more easier. Not necessarily easier, but like I say, life hacks, shortcuts, right? So sometimes I turn things into a game and I tell myself, you know what? I'm going to win this game. I'm going to win this game. And then I find out, right? I kind of plan, what is it that I need to do in order to win that thing? I think about that when I'm on the road sometimes. I look at a billboard. You know, sometimes you're in a public place, a public setting, and you listen to conversations and you hear people talking about they're going to the casino or their friend invited them to the casino. They're excited, right? I mean, those things trigger thoughts. As soon as you get something that triggers a thought in your mind, you got to turn it around immediately. You must. The problem with most people is that they play with the thought. You know, it's like an addiction. If you have an addiction, if you make a decision, you can stop and you can change your life. Yeah, there's a process. Sometimes it's not as easy as we would want it to be, but we can manipulate our mind. And we must learn to manipulate our mind, because if we don't, your mind will manipulate you, right? I said this before in one video that if your mind will either work with you or it will work against you. And you have to take control over your mind, because if you don't, I mean, if you don't, we know what's going to happen. We know the result of that. Anybody want to add to this? We choose to gamble or not to gamble. Fighting this 18 very long years, I don't blame the casino. I blame myself for my decisions. Exactly. We take the responsibility, like Daniel is saying. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the free things in the casinos, though. There, you know, I was listening to this person, this young lady, a couple of weeks ago, and she was sharing a some very important points about problem gambling in the casinos. And you know, there is some truth about gaming that we don't think about. There is excitement in the casino, right? There is money to be won in the casino too, unfortunately at the loss of other people, but there is money to be won. There's free parking. There's free, sometimes there's even free food. In fact, sometimes they even offer you free games, right? Free money, $15, $20, $30. And all of that is just to suck you right into the casino. Because if you keep falling into that trap of these freebies, what happens? So, but ultimately, you're right. There's nothing free about the casinos, because the casino problem gambling will suck you dry. Just like drugs, right? Drugs will suck you dry. I was listening to this guy. His name is Hector Lavoe. Hector Lavoe. He was a Puerto Rican singer. He died at the age of 46. Very good music. I love his music. In fact, I never even knew about this guy. And I'm sure that those of you that are on here know many singers that have died early on because of addictions. Well, this guy had a tremendous talent, but unfortunately his promoters, he made the decision, but of course the promoters were making money off of him. So when he needed a fix, guess who provided? Right? So this guy at a very young age went through a lot of trauma. Lost his mom, lost his dad, lost his brother, lost a mother-in-law through some really horrible events. And he was given opportunities to change his life. The guy ended up catching AIDS through a needle. In fact, at one point, he jumped from a 9-story building, broke his legs, broke an arm, broke his ribs, and survived. So it's very mysterious when I think about these individuals that have a hard time with their lives like that. I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. I can only speak for myself and those that I help that want to change. Because in all honesty, like Daniel said, we're the ones that have to make the decision, right? We never want to be in a position where we think that something's controlling us. The moment you allow that to come out of your mouth, like, you know, I'm an addict, you know, I'm addicted to such and such thing. The moment that we start saying that over and over, forget it. Forget it. Quitting is a daily challenge. Exactly, Joe. We take it day by day. By the way, thank you, Laura, for sharing. Daniel, quitting is a daily challenge. It is, because we take it day by day. In fact, we take it hour by hour, right? Hour by hour, really, because we got to be alert. We got to be a soldier of self-mastery. And that's one of the reasons why I call myself a soldier of self-mastery, because it reminds me of who I am. We've been talking about motivation for change. And how do we see ourselves 1 to 2 years from today? So part of me calling myself a soldier of self-mastery, in fact, some of you or all of you, I would consider a soldier or a soldierette, right? Because you're fighting. You're in a battle. You're in a battle every single day. Now, some days the battle is not so clear, but then it reveals itself. But you're fighting, my friends. Every one of you is fighting, not only for your life, but maybe for your family and for your business, for your income, right? Your bank account. Thank you, Joe. So true. Only suck you dry. Daniel says, yeah, it'll suck you dry and ruin your moral values and takes a toll on your health. Exactly. You end up living a double life. You become a liar. And then you can get addicted to other things to try to cover up that pain, right? You end up becoming an addict to other things. Or let me hold back. You end up becoming exposed to other things that will try to control you. Laura, I wish Santos was on daily. I thought I'd try bingo, so we went last night, but I don't like it. Bingo. Yeah. Well, I'd love to be on every night, but and who knows, maybe I may incorporate another 1 or 2 days possibly during the week, because I know that I get the emails and I get the comments, and people need, and I'm not bragging about myself because I'm just a hey there, right? I'm a soldier of self-mastery, but people need to be around like people like myself, because I don't gamble. I don't want nothing to do with casinos anymore. I'll go into a casino and share a message if they wanted me to, but I think they'd kick me out because I'd start talking about the casino and problem gambling right away, and I don't think they'd have me in there. So next year, I want to be a soldier of self-mastery. Playback 4444. Well, you got to decide today, playback 4444. Is it awkward for us to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I am a soldier of self-mastery. I am a soldierette of self-mastery. Soldierette, a female. Change is awkward in the beginning, right? I was listening to Dean Graciosi. He said that our good thinking has got us to where we are, right? Our good thinking has got us to where we are today. A different form of thinking is going to get us to where we need to be. A different form of thinking. And it is awkward to change. It's awkward to change the way you speak, right? To yourself or to others. It's awkward to change the way you think. It is awkward, but it's necessary. And the struggle, my friend, we need the struggle, because out of that struggle comes growth. Out of that struggle comes a breakthrough. So you don't have to wait till next year, my friend. Playback 4444. You can start calling yourself a soldier of self-mastery today. And believe me, that's going to do something for you. When you start looking at yourself and start calling yourself a soldier of self-mastery, it's going to do something to your psyche. And that's what we want, right? We want to revolutionize. I call it optimizing the paradigms. We want to optimize the paradigms. If you look into your future, if you visualize and you look at your future, you're going to see your future self predicated upon what you're doing right now. You'll see it. So that's why I said, what's your future self telling you? If you don't like the image that you see, you must change. You must make a solid decision to change. So we're getting ready to wind down, my friends. Those who like gambling should try bingo. It's so boring, but still a game. Maybe. Well, I know that I've gone to a couple of bingo games at Chicken Scratch Casino. And my wife fell asleep. She has trouble staying awake. So it was just kind of a mess. It didn't work out for me. So, you know, again, we all have to make individual decisions upon where we want to go in life. You know, I'm here as an example that you can quit. I'm here as an example that you can stop. Believe me, if I can do what I'm doing, you can do also. I've just trained myself to optimize my paradigms because they weren't doing me any good. I mean, I had a lot of trauma, I had a lot of fear, and I was always looking for escapes. And it's kind of like gambling. Yeah, it is. In fact, I see a lot of the Catholics and religious people, I hear a lot of the Catholics and religious people go gambling for money. And I think that's a little bit strange. I'm not here to judge the Catholics. They'll do what they want. But Christianity is opposed. I believe the Bible is opposed to gambling. There are verses in the Bible. And I'm a person of the Bible. I'm not a person of church. Okay. I do pray. I do believe that part of my transformation, or a grave part of my transformation, has come from prayer and meditation upon scripture that I use as affirmations daily. As Joe said, quitting is a daily challenge. Let me ask you guys a question. Why are you here? I know that may sound like a stupid question, but the stupid question is the one that's never asked. Why are we here on a Sunday? Why are we here? I know I'm not the greatest. I'm not Elvis Presley. If I had his looks, I probably wouldn't be here. But we're here for a reason. Why are we here? I appreciate all of you guys that come out on a Sunday and Friday. You make my day. You're actually helping me also. So, I don't see any answers yet, so I'm going to ask another question. What are we getting out of this episode? What are we getting out of this episode? And we got I'm going to probably go just a few minutes over the 30-minute mark because, man, time flies, doesn't it? My friends, I'm telling you. They love bingo in Buffalo, New York area. I'm here because I need advice. Also, I love seeing all the comments. Thank you, Laura. Anybody else want to share? You know, I'm thinking, I don't know if you guys may be up to this, but I'm thinking about, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to soldiersofselfmastery.com, please subscribe. And if you have any ideas on what I can do about giveaways, you know, we talked about the t-shirt. I have it here. Soldier of Self-Mastery t-shirts. Of course, they do cost me money, but I'm looking for ways to possibly give maybe t-shirts away or a signed autographed copy of my little red book. I have another one coming out too, big, thick one. That one talks a lot about my trauma and what I went through as a childhood, in my childhood. Florence Setmore, hearing you win helps me know I can work. Exactly, Florence. I appreciate that comment. You're right. Thinking positive about the future helps. Yeah, we have to let the future talk to us and bring us into reality, because if we don't think about where we're going, I'll be sending out an email next week to those of you that are subscribing. I hope that you're opening up the emails. I'm talking a little bit about vision, right? I didn't have any vision. I didn't have any direction. I was just wandering around. You know, I was like in this vehicle, just driving around endlessly with a broken GPS, a broken mental GPS that needed to be calibrated. And I found ways to calibrate it little by little. And I'm still working at it. But I'm free from gambling. You know, I'm totally free. Temptation comes to me once in a while. And I'll tell you, my friends, I am so freaking grateful. Number one, to the Lord. Number one, to the Lord, to the master above. His grace is my foundation. And I know that beyond the shadow of a doubt. But I tell you, it feels so great to be in the position that I'm in today, to be able to help others, encourage and motivate. And believe me, I'm going to say this again and again. If I can, you can. If I can, you can. And that can apply towards other addictions too, other problems that we may have, that other people may have. I'd like to know more about the book. Where were you raised? I was born in Puerto Rico, Cuamo, Puerto Rico. And my parents migrated to Hartford, Connecticut. So I lived in Hartford, Connecticut for 18 years. That's where I went through a lot of trauma as a child. And every once in a while I share. In fact, there are videos on my YouTube channel where I talk about my childhood. They're in there. They're older videos, but they're in there. And I talk detailed stuff about some of the stuff that I went through. How I started gambling at around the age of about 14 as an escape. So I see we've got a couple other people that have come on. If you want to identify yourself, tell me where you're from. You have a question. We're talking about addictions. We're talking about problem gambling. We're talking about success. And I hope those of you are laughing at me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. So I was raised in Hartford. I left Hartford, Connecticut. Actually, we moved to a little town called Willimantic, Connecticut. And from there, I left at the age of 18 via the United States Navy. I entered the Navy when I was 18 years of age. And I ended up going to boot camp in Chicago, Great Lakes. And then I ended up on an aircraft carrier here in California at the Naval Air Station near San Francisco, NAS Alameda. And NAS Alameda has been closed down. I was there from 85 to 93. And then from 85 to 89. And then from 89 to 93. So the USS Enterprise is no longer in commission. That was an aircraft carrier. I served with 5,500 men on that ship, 5,500 men. And that ship weighed 90,000 tons. 90,000 tons. And yes, I've been around the world a little bit. I have been around the world a little bit. So let me see. Australia. I've been to Africa. I've been to Pakistan, Hawaii, Italy. I got in trouble in Italy. Italy. I got my shoes stolen for being too drunk in Italy. Germany, Korea, Hong Kong, San Diego numerous times. And those are a few of the places that I've been to around the world. So I've got to travel at the age of 20. It was just, but I was a drunk. Every time I was a mess. Yeah. That was a big ship. So I'm going to be closing, but I want to end with something here. By the way, before I end this episode, I want to share something with you. Like I said, my 11 for success. I'm going to share that with you here. Let me see. And then make sure that you guys subscribe to soldiersofselfmastery.com, please. Okay. soldiersofselfmastery.com. In fact, if you look at the top of the comments, you'll see the links. Okay. The little red book where you can get it. You can donate to this mission. If you like what you hear, you want to keep me on the air, and maybe I might come on another day. I know the more motivation, the more inspiration that you guys receive, the better, I believe, because it's good for me too. But remember this, okay? Don't depend on so much motivation. Don't become, because you can get addicted to this. You can get addicted to motivation and inspiration, my friends, just like you can get addicted to social media, okay? And I'm being honest with you guys. I'm here as a spark. I'm here as a candle, but you have to give yourself permission. And believe me, again, if I can do what I'm doing, you can do it too. Thank you, Daniel. If you go through my videos on YouTube, there's a lot. There's a lot that I've shared. But I'm going to share this here, and then I'm going to close the episode. My 11 for success. What is my 11? My 11 rituals, my 11 most closest rituals for daily success, for life. I'm going to share those with you. By the way, Daniel, the new book is on Amazon Kindle. It's been revised, so it's a little different than the first version. So my 11 for success and why. I'm going to go through these very quickly. Maybe I'll share a little bit more about these in the next episode. Number 1, have a vision, some sort of positive direction, even if it's a bit cloudy. Eventually you fine tune as you grow, GROW. Without a vision, you perish. You die. Number 2, you got to have at least 3 great rituals. These are mine. Okay. You got to have at least 3 great rituals. These are mine that you can employ daily. Positive self-talk, journaling, and video creation. Video creation is very, very powerful, my friends. Number 3, hunger for growth. Hunger for growth. I call that flipping the switch in the mindset. Okay. Learn something new weekly, daily. Keep a record of it, my friends. Keep a record, a log, a journal. Number 4, do things that make impact. Okay. Personally and extended. So you want to do things that are going to impact your life and the lives of others, right? In a positive way. Volunteer, give to charity. Number 5, brainstorm sessions, kind of like this one, but this one's a little bit more personal. Brainstorming sessions with a coach or with yourself. Powerful, powerful, my friends. Moving. 6, make your own boot camp. Turning familiar surroundings into a place to train yourself to be better. Practice the art of thinking there, building character, core value, philosophy, and start living it. You're learning, and within that boot camp, you're learning to be a customer service specialist. Serve those around you, my friends. Serve them to the best of your ability. Number 7, focus on health. Okay, drinking really good water, and believe me, if you're into health and you want to drink the very best water, email me. And I'll share with you what I'm drinking. It's very affordable. It tastes great. And you're putting minerals, natural minerals, all the minerals that your body will ever need. You're putting them in water and you're drinking them. So focus on drinking healthy water, really good, healthy water. Number 8, breathing times 3. I'm going to go through these quick now. Number 9, R&R, right? Good sleep, a minimum of 1 day of relaxation, and travel. Get away. Just get away for your sanity. Number 10, take risks. If you take risks, it's going to build confidence. Okay. We talked about facing temptation. Take the risk to face that temptation and say no to it. It's going to build your confidence. Water is life. Yeah. So number 11, practice thankfulness. Practice being more alive, being grateful daily, and declare it daily. Here's a little exercise, by the way. You can take a little piece of paper or in your journal and write down 5 or 6 things that you're grateful for every single day. Do that for a couple of days and see what begins to happen to your mindset. That's 11. Those are my 11 for success. And I didn't get too deep into these because I know it takes time. So once again, I want to thank you guys for making my Sunday. I hope once again you've gotten something out of this session. I believe you have. Remember, if I can, you can. Okay? Give to this mission. Get your book. Give you some exercises, right? Little red book. And the links are going to be up above there in the chat area. Subscribe to soldiersofselfmastery.com. That's where you can get the book also. And do something special for yourself before this night. Prepare yourself for the week, but do something special for yourself, you know. Pat yourself on the back once again for enduring my torture of almost 42 minutes here. You've endured. So I will see you on Friday night episode. Friday night, we'll talk a little bit more about my 11 for success. We'll get into it a little bit more, and we'll just dig. Give me some more questions, guys. I know that there's many of you that have stayed on here for a long time. Much appreciated. Thank you, Florence, Laura, Joe, Daniel, Playback 4444, and those the other of you that have been with me for the time being. Okay, we will see you on Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Soldier of Self-Mastery, making every single day a super fantastic, terrific, over-the-top day, daily, in spite of and because of my friends. Amen, artistry. Thank you. You're welcome. We'll see you on Friday. Peace.